guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video we're looking at Beauden Barrett, one of the All Blacks' greatest fly half slash fullbacks. He can literally do it all. But recently, in the latest news, he's been voted statistically as one of the worst kickers in Test Rugby in the past 5 years. A study has been done by a South African website called goalkickers.co.za, and they have analysed the goal kicking of around the world of the various players' kickers. Now, technically, there's no easy way to compare kicks aside from your shot at goal percentages. But what this what this website has done is they've literally devised an algorithm that takes into account the difficulty of the kicker's attempt at goal and the difficulty of each kick, giving a kick rating of out of 10. So what they considered is to establish a difficulty rating that includes distance of the kick, angle of the kick, altitude of the side of the field, and foot used. Score differences to indicate pressure, home and away, and first, second, and half. So it's an interesting way, and I think if you've been following rugby for quite some time, you will know that Beauden Barrett isn't the strongest goal kicker. We've seen moments where I feel if he had kick points over for both the Hurricanes or even definitely for the All Blacks, he could have definitely won games. If we go look back at South Africa beating New Zealand 2 years ago in New Zealand, where Damien McKenzie did that knock-on, I mean, that was a moment of missed kicks that could have really given the All Blacks the opportunity to have picked up a victory. Having said that, not taking away any form of credit that this guy is one of the greatest rugby players of all time. And also not to forget, although his kicking is statistically one of the weakest, he was still Player of the Year 2016 and 2017, which is really remarkable considering at that time he was such a young blood to the game. Obviously he'd been around, but I mean, to fill the shoes and the pressure of a guy like the great Dan Carter, I think it's outstanding to see what Beauden has achieved in his career and all that jazz. We've seen the All Blacks try and differentiate different ideas in the long come running. I mean, we've had Aaron Cruden around. We've had now Richie Mwanga in, who's been also known to be a better kicker. And I think that's been a smart move from the All Blacks going forward, is they've put Richie in at number 10 and you're Beauden at 15. And generally, Richie's been taking quite a few of the kicks because technically he's a better goal kicker and the stats actually prove that. If we look at the stats, the top five, it's interesting because don't say South African website's going to be biased. It's not the case. There isn't a South African in at the top five. The first one is Lee Halfpenny from Wales. He's got an 87% ratio. Then followed by Dan Bigger from Wales, 89% ratio. Then you've got Greg Laidlaw from Scotland, 84%, not ratio, 84%. Well, technically, yeah. Owen Farrell, number 4, England, 79%. And Nicolas Sanchez from Argentina with 84%. And it's a VA 30, so obviously that's why it's a bit odd. Because generally you think Dan Bigger. But go visit the website, check it out. Very interesting stats to have a look at there. I'll leave the link in the description. But Dan Carter, he's number 11, 76% VA 5. Richie Mwanga is in 23rd place. Andre Pollard is in the top 10, so I know South African is there. And last but not least, 52nd place, which is stone cold last out of all the place kickers ranked, is Beauden Barrett. 70% VA minus 16. So very interesting results there and hectic stuff when you look at it. But I think if you've been watching the sport for a while, you'll know that Beauden Barrett isn't the strongest kicker. But nothing taking away the form and the incredibility of this man and what he's brought to the game and the strength and the magnitude. It's just remarkable. But I thought it's just an interesting topic to bring up onto the channel, how the Northern Hemisphere seemed to dominate the kicking. I mean, you have one Southern Hemisphere from Argentina in 5th place, but the rest is dominated by Wales in 1st and 2nd, and then obviously Owen Farrell and Greg Laidlaw. So interesting stuff there. It just shows the difference of how Six Nations and those type of games and up north, you tend to kick more rather than the point scoring. Whereas in the south, you're generally seeing a lot of running rugby, the kicking, less kicking, but the All Blacks dominating, scoring tries, the fun way of the sport, if we can say that. So just an interesting one that I thought I'd touch back with you on a Sunday. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. How would you rank it? If you were to select, who are your top place kickers, not fly-offs, kickers in the game of rugby? And I'll be curious to hear your thoughts on that one. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you real soon for another one. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.